Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Vanessa, and today we're starting with the basics of UI design. Every app you love, Instagram, Apple Music, Airbnb, shares one thing in common: great user interface design. However, most beginners believe that UI design is solely about making things visually appealing. That's a mistake. In this video, I'm going to break down UI design from the ground up, the real principles professionals use to design clean, usable, and modern interfaces. No fluff, no trends, only talk, just fundamentals that actually matter. By the end of this video, you'll understand how layouts guide attention, why spacing is more important than colors, how typography affects usability, and how to design interfaces that feel intuitive, not forced. Whether you're a beginner designer, a developer, or someone transitioning into UI design, this video will give you a solid foundation you can apply immediately. Let's get started. User interface design is the foundation of how users interact with digital products. Before exploring advanced patterns, animations, or design systems, it is essential to understand the basic principles that make an interface usable, clear, and effective. This section introduces the core ideas that define user interface design and explains why these fundamentals matter in every digital product. User interface design basics refers to the foundational concepts and principles that guide how digital interfaces are visually structured and presented to users. It focuses on designing screens that are clear, intuitive, and easy to interact with, ensuring that users can accomplish their goals efficiently without confusion or frustration. At its core, user interface design is about communication. Every element on a screen, such as buttons, text, icons, colors, and spacing, serves a purpose and sends a signal to the user. Good UI design organizes these elements in a way that naturally guides attention, highlights important actions, and reduces cognitive effort. Understanding UI design basics also means learning how visual decisions affect usability. Factors like layout, alignment, contrast, and typography play a critical role in readability and interaction. When these basics are applied correctly, the interface feels simple and intuitive. When they are ignored, even powerful applications can feel difficult to use. By mastering the basics of user interface design, designers and developers can create digital products that are not only visually appealing, but also functional, consistent, and user-friendly. These fundamentals form the foundation for more advanced design systems, interactions, and user experience. Okay, now let's talk about why good user interface design is important. User interface design plays a critical role in how users perceive and interact with a digital product. Regardless of how powerful or feature-rich an application may be, its success largely depends on how easily users can understand and use it. Good UI design directly impacts usability. When an interface is clear and well-structured, users can complete tasks quickly and with minimal effort. Clear navigation, readable typography, and well-placed interactive elements reduce confusion and prevent errors, allowing users to focus on their goals rather than the interface itself. Another important reason good UI design matters is trust and credibility. Users often judge the quality of a product within seconds of seeing it. A clean, consistent, and professional interface creates a positive first impression and signals reliability, while poor UI design can make even a well-built product feel untrustworthy or outdated. Good UI design also improves user engagement and retention. Interfaces that feel intuitive and visually balanced encourage users to explore and continue using a product. When users enjoy interacting with an interface, they are more likely to return, recommend the product, and remain loyal over time. From a business and development perspective, investing in good UI design reduces long-term costs. Well-designed interfaces require less user support, fewer revisions, and lower onboarding effort. By addressing usability early through thoughtful UI design, teams can avoid costly redesigns and improve overall product success. All right, now let's talk about common UI design misconceptions. Many beginners approach user interface design with assumptions that can lead to ineffective or confusing interfaces. These misconceptions often focus on visuals rather than usability and can negatively impact both user experience and product quality. Understanding and correcting these misunderstandings is essential for designing effective user interfaces. One common misconception is that UI design is only about making things look attractive. While visual appeal is important, UI design is primarily about usability and clarity. An interface can look modern and stylish, yet still be difficult to use if layout, hierarchy, and interaction patterns are poorly designed. Another misconception is that adding more features and elements improves the user experience. In reality, overcrowded interfaces increase cognitive load and make it harder for users to find what they need. Good UI design focuses on simplicity, prioritization, and removing unnecessary elements rather than adding more. Some designers also believe that following trends automatically leads to good UI design. Design trends can be useful for inspiration, but blindly applying them without considering usability, accessibility, or context can harm the interface. Effective UI design balances modern aesthetics with practical user needs. Finally, there is a misconception that UI design is separate from user experience or development. In practice, UI design works closely with UX principles and technical constraints. Successful interfaces result from collaboration between design, usability, and implementation rather than visual design alone. All right, now let's talk about the fundamental principles of UI design. Every effective user interface is built on a set of core principles that guide design decisions. These principles help ensure that interfaces are not only visually appealing, but also usable, consistent, and intuitive. Understanding these fundamentals is essential before moving on to advanced UI patterns or design systems. One of the most important principles of UI design is clarity. Users should immediately understand what they are seeing and what actions they can take. Clear labels, intuitive icons, and well-defined visual hierarchy help users navigate an interface without confusion or hesitation. Consistency is another key principle. Consistent use of colors, typography, spacing, and interaction patterns allows users to build familiarity with the interface. When elements behave predictably across screens, users can interact with the product more confidently and efficiently. Feedback is a fundamental principle that ensures users are informed about the results of their actions. Visual responses such as button states, loading indicators, and confirmation messages help users understand whether an action has been successful, is in progress, or requires attention. Simplicity also plays a critical role in UI design. Removing unnecessary elements and focusing on essential content reduces cognitive load and improves usability. A simple interface makes it easier for users to focus on their tasks and achieve their goals. Finally, accessibility is a core principle that ensures interfaces are usable by as many people as possible. Designing with accessibility in mind, such as sufficient contrast, readable typography, and support for different input methods, creates inclusive products and improves the overall user experience. Very well, now let's talk about the consistency and design systems. Consistency is one of the most important factors in creating intuitive and reliable user interfaces. As digital products grow in size and complexity, maintaining visual and functional consistency becomes increasingly challenging. Design systems exist to address this challenge by providing a shared foundation for design and development. Consistency in UI design means using the same visual styles, components, and interaction patterns across an entire product. When buttons, colors, typography, and layouts behave consistently, users can predict how the interface will work. This reduces confusion, shortens learning time, and improves overall usability. Design systems help teams achieve and maintain consistency at scale. A design system is a structured collection of reusable components, design rules, and guidelines that define how an interface should look and behave. It acts as a single source of truth for designers and developers, ensuring that everyone follows the same standards. Another key benefit of design systems is efficiency. By reusing predefined components and patterns, teams can design and build interfaces faster while reducing errors and inconsistencies. Changes can be made centrally and applied across the product, saving time and improving quality. Beyond visuals, design systems also support better collaboration between design and development teams. Shared components, naming conventions, and documentation help align expectations and reduce misunderstandings, resulting in more cohesive and scalable user interfaces. Very well, now let's talk about the visual hierarchy and layout. Visual hierarchy and layout are fundamental to how users perceive and interact with an interface. Before users read text or understand functionality, they visually scan the screen. Effective hierarchy and layout guide this scanning process, helping users quickly identify what is important and how to navigate the interface. Visual hierarchy refers to the arrangement of elements in a way that communicates their importance. By using size, color, contrast, spacing, and positioning, designers can direct the user's attention to key actions or information first. Strong hierarchy ensures that users naturally follow a logical visual path through the interface. Layout is the structural framework that organizes content on the screen. A well-designed layout groups related elements together and separates unrelated ones, making the interface easier to understand. Consistent alignment and spacing create visual order and reduce cognitive load for the user. Grid systems play an important role in layout design. Grids provide a consistent structure that helps align elements across different screens and devices. By using grids, designers can create balanced, scalable, and responsive layouts that adapt well to various screen sizes. When visual hierarchy and layout are applied correctly, interfaces feel intuitive and effortless to use. Users can quickly find what they need, understand available actions, and move through the product with confidence. Poor hierarchy and layout, on the other hand, can make even simple interfaces feel confusing and overwhelming. Very well, now let's talk about the color theory for UI design. Color is one of the most powerful tools in user interface design. It influences how users perceive an interface, guides attention, and affects readability and usability. Understanding basic color theory helps designers make intentional decisions that improve both the visual quality and functional clarity of an interface. Color theory in UI design focuses on how colors interact and how they can be used to communicate meaning. Different hues, saturation levels, and brightness values can highlight important elements, indicate status, or separate content. When used correctly, color helps users understand an interface quickly without relying on text alone. Choosing an effective color palette is a critical part of UI design. A well-balanced palette usually includes primary, secondary, and neutral colors that work together harmoniously. Limiting the number of colors and using them consistently across the interface helps maintain clarity and prevents visual overload. Contrast plays a key role in readability and accessibility. Sufficient contrast between text and background ensures that content is easy to read for all users, including those with visual impairments. Good contrast also helps emphasize important actions, such as primary buttons or alerts. Color in UI design is not only decorative but also functional. It can guide user behavior, reinforce brand identity, and create emotional responses. When applied thoughtfully, color enhances usability, improves accessibility, and contributes to a cohesive and intuitive user experience. Very well, now let's talk about the typography in UI. Typography plays a crucial role in how users read, understand, and interact with an interface. Beyond choosing attractive fonts, typography in UI design focuses on readability, hierarchy, and consistency. Well-designed typography helps users process information quickly and navigate interfaces with ease. Typography in user interface design refers to how text is styled, structured, and presented across an interface. This includes font selection, size, weight, spacing, and alignment. Clear and readable typography ensures that users can easily scan content and understand information without effort. Visual hierarchy is strongly influenced by typography. Headings, subheadings, body text, and labels should be clearly differentiated through size, weight, and spacing. This hierarchy helps users quickly identify important information and understand the structure of the content. Font choice also impacts usability and tone. Fonts should be selected based on readability across different screen sizes and devices, rather than purely aesthetic preference. Using a limited number of font families and maintaining consistent text styles across the interface improves clarity and reduces visual noise. Very well, now let's talk about the components and patterns. Components and patterns are the building blocks of user interfaces. While individual elements like buttons or input fields are important, their consistent use and combination into patterns allow designers to create interfaces that are both predictable and efficient. Understanding components and patterns is essential for designing a scalable, intuitive UI. UI components are individual elements that serve a specific function in an interface. Examples include buttons, form fields, icons, sliders, cards, and navigation menus. Components should be designed to be reusable and consistent so that users can recognize and understand them across different parts of a product. UI patterns are recurring combinations of components that solve common design problems. For instance, a login form, a product card layout, or a notification system are all patterns built from multiple components. Patterns provide a tested structure that improves usability and ensures a consistent experience for users. Using components and patterns effectively helps maintain both consistency and efficiency. Designers can quickly assemble interfaces using predefined elements, while users benefit from predictable behavior and visual familiarity. This approach also supports responsive design, as components and patterns can be adapted across different screen sizes without compromising usability. Beyond functionality, components and patterns play a key role in collaboration between design and development teams. By defining and documenting components and patterns in a design system, teams can ensure that interfaces are implemented consistently, reducing errors and accelerating development. Thank you for watching this complete guide to the fundamentals of user interface design. By now, you should have a clear understanding of the core principles, including visual hierarchy, color theory, typography, layout, consistency, and the use of components and patterns. Remember, UI design is not just about making interfaces look good. It's about creating experiences that are intuitive, usable, and accessible for all users. Applying these fundamentals consistently will help you design interfaces that are both functional and visually engaging. As you continue your journey in UI design, practice these principles in real projects, study existing interfaces, and refine your skills. Great UI design is learned through observation, iteration, and thoughtful application of these basics. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more in-depth tutorials and tips on design and development. Keep learning, stay curious, and design interfaces that truly put users first.